So yeah, special episode tonight. We didn't even tease it or anything, huh?
No. Happened so
awesome.
A
fast.
surprise for subscribers right there.
One of our many surprises coming.
Still waiting on that new segment. Still waiting on that. They're burning at the
He's
tail
been
for that
teasing a
one.
new segment since episode 3, I think.
It's
and
there. It's there.
It's almost ready.
He's putting the finishing touches on it right now.
Nice.
All right. So with that said, we are going to get into today's episode. But before we do that and get into the weekend update, we have a special guest. Kind of came together last minute. We do appreciate her coming on today. Welcome to episode 11 of the BDE Sports Talk podcast. My name is Bill, one of your co-hosts, one of three brothers from the Shire of Three Brothers.
Hey, nice.
Dean and Eddie, fellas, how you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing sweet, man. Ready to go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Special episode tonight,
How are you?
Yeah.
Hey, no, how are you? Real quick. How are you?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Let's just move on.
No.
Keep going.
I'm doing pretty good, guys.
Dang. Yeah, I feel that.
That was good. Yeah.
So yeah, special episode tonight. We didn't even tease it or anything, huh?
No. Happened so
You know,
fast.
a surprise for subscribers right there.
One of our many surprises coming.
Still waiting on that new segment. Still waiting on that. They're burning at the
He's
tail
been
for that
teasing a
one.
new segment since episode 3, I think.
It's there. It's there.
It's almost ready.
He's putting the finishing touches on it right now.
Nice.
That's awesome. Before we get into the weekend update, just wanted to say, as always, thank you to everyone who watches our episodes, and we appreciate your guys' feedback. I've actually had a couple people tell me they've watched
Your garbage.
some of the podcasts. Some people, like we've talked about, just watch the beginning and end, which perfectly fine. But we do appreciate it, and feel free to hit the like button. I don't have anything special for that today. Nope. I got nothing today. Hit the like button. Comment with anything you guys want to talk about, or if you have any comments on what we talk about today. And feel free to subscribe as well. So with that
At 100 subscribers, Dean lets me give him a haircut.
That's true.
100 subscribers? What are we at right now? I need to know what the number is currently.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't you worry.
Anything past 50, that's a no for me.
So with that said, I haven't said this to you guys in a while, but do you guys have anything to add before we get going?
Oh man. No, just like you said, you just thank you for all the comments and likes and all that stuff and sharing the video. Everything helps, so just keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Oh heck yeah.
Eddie?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Don't leave me out here to dry, man.
All the folks out there, again, yeah, it's been a couple weeks, but super appreciate everybody who listens, watches. I mean, it's super cool. You follow us anywhere, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Watch us on YouTube, man. It's super appreciated. So
yeah. All right. So with that said, we are going to get into today's episode. But before we do that and get into the weekend update, we have a special guest. Kind of came together last minute. We do appreciate her coming on today. She is a RDN, registered dietitian nutritionist. If I get that wrong, I'm very sorry. Fitness trainer, author of the book, The Best Darn Book About Nutrition and Health, real estate agent, also the best part about it, our cousin and an avid Detroit sports fan. So with that said, let's get Detroit Doty in here.
Yay!
Hey, there she is.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And it's so good to be all together again.
I know. I know. Did I get that
yeah.
right, by the way? The RDN?
Yep, you sure did. Yep, registered dietitian, nutritionist. I went to Eastern Michigan. Yeah.
So, hey, go Eagles.
Yeah. Yep. And I did my internship at University of Michigan too, at the hospital there.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Go Blue.
Yep. Good education in
All
Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Funny thing about Eastern, we have a. I like to call him our buddy.
He's a friend. I'd say we're pretty close.
Practically our best friend. Yeah.
No, he's a captain for the Eastern Michigan football team, and he kind of has been interacting with us back and forth. So, but besides that, he's not really.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he knows our names. Even though our names are on here.
He just knows there's a challenge for an Oklahoma drill out there. Just waiting for him.
That's true. Dooley. If you're watching this episode, the challenge still stands. Don't let the bright lights and the cousin fool you. I'm still waiting, brother. Take you on anytime. I don't mean
Nothing
that.
changes.
I got too much to live for. I don't know.
Just challenging a 6'7", 300-pound man.
Yeah.
Not smart.
So what we're going to do is every week we go through the weekend update. So with that said, we'll start with Dean tonight. Dean, how was your weekend?
It's pretty good. Did a 4-man scramble this weekend. Well, yeah, we were terrible as a team. we bogeyed the first hole, and I was like, "We're not gonna win this. It's not happening today." And then, Sunday we went. We all were together, the three of us. I don't know if that's spoiling or not, but we went to the training camp on Sunday, so it was a good weekend overall. Met Slash. Yeah, that was good. It was good times. Yeah. Edward.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty chill weekend, man. Went out and did some stuff. Obviously, went to training camp on Sunday. Yesterday, which was Monday, had a birthday, which my daughter, who was born 3 days before me, she's not 3 days older than me. Yeah, she's not 3 days older than me, but in the month she's born 3 days before I am. So she was on vacation with her grandparents when she was gone. So really we just kind of celebrated, when you have a kid that's born close to your birthday, you pretty much have just lost the birthday, right? And so we did stuff for her birthday yesterday. They did allow me to pick one thing, which was went and just walked down to the park and played basketball. And
by yourself?
It was just me. You should have seen, dude, my turnaround jumper was draining. But it got down to me and John again and some pig. And I did again let him win. And he was real chill about it. He wasn't talking the smack like he was last time. So that worked out pretty good. I did want to just bring up a little story from last week. This happened last Wednesday. So I'm going to be reading it because I wrote it down while I was watching it. I was like, it was just bizarre to see. So this isn't the weekend at all. So, Bill, you've been in my office before.
Yes.
I've moved desks to where now I have a window facing like the Capitol lawn, right?
How's Brain Camp going?
What's that?
How's Bragging Camp going?
Brain game?
I said, how's Bragging Camp going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
I'm the
captain of the camp. Well, I have to, because this is a big part of it. I was looking out my window, and there's this lady, and I notice her because, like, I spend every now and again, I go out to the window, I just look outside, take a break during the day, just look out there. Usually there's something going on, whether it's trying to watch people parallel park or folks taking photos out on the lawn or whatever. And so I see this. Yeah, not during those times, no. No. And so I see this lady walking her dog on the lawn, that's why I was watching, because she was walking the dog. And the dog was clearly, like, about to take a crap. Okay. And so I'm looking at this lady, and I'm like, I guarantee, because there was a coworker who was watching also. I was like, I guarantee you this lady does not have a poop bag. Like 100%. I know I feel it. I could see it. And so the dog takes a crap, and she definitely doesn't have a poop bag, but, like, she takes her shoes off. And this is where I really start paying attention. Okay. She takes her shoes off, and out of these shoes, she's barefoot. And I'm like, okay, that's a choice. I mean, it,
whatever.
It's fine so far. And like, she puts and it looks like she puts her foot in the poop.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm really taking notice now. Like, this is getting bizarre. And she takes her shoes and puts them on top of the poop. She turns around, walks to a tree, and is, like, staring at the tree, like,
oh no,
for a good 5 minutes, just standing there, face first against the tree, like, had to been just inches away from her face. I mean, it's hard to tell from my high up angle in my 15-story office. Capitol
Lansing
view,
skyline view. It's a Lansing skyline over there.
All the people look like ants down there. It's only 3 floors high, and so I can see her very clearly. But so she's at the tree, and then she starts, like, walking around the lawn, just, like, randomly. She's still got the dog. And I don't know, like, all of a sudden, she's, like, going to, like, cross the street, and she's still barefoot. And she gets, like, into the middle of the street, and she, like, slaps the street, like, just like she's playing defense, like, she just straight up, like, just slaps the ground like she's ready to play some defense on a point guard. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, it is just such a weird thing to watch live that's why I started writing it down, because I'm like, I don't know what the hell's happening here. And then she, like, leaves from view, okay, because I can only see so far. She walks somewhere, shoes are still out in the middle of the Capitol lawn on top of this poop. A couple minutes later, like, she reemerges, okay, and there's no dog now. And, like, as soon as she gets to the lawn, she does, like, this big jump onto the lawn. It's almost like when Goldberg would, like, like, jump out and, like, do a big thing. Like, it was like that. I'm like, what is like, I'm serious. I don't know how many times I said, what is happening? Like, this lady has just got it. Like, I don't know if she's lost it, or, like, there's, like, something going on. And she has a bag now. Okay. So that must have been why she left. I don't know why she had to do it barefoot.
Why she had to put her shoes
over
on
pavement
top of the poop.
I think maybe the shoes were to mark the poop.
Yeah.
I don't know why she had to put her foot in it first to remember.
Just make it a little flat, set the shoes up.
But so yeah, then she gets out and grabs the poop, and I feel like she, like, pops up and is like, I feel like she's looking in my window, so I'm, like, slowly backing away from my window, because, like, the last thing I need is for her to, like, see me and be like, you like, bring the poop to my office. But so I'm like, now I'm, like, watching, like, sideways, you know, through the side of the window. Then she starts aimlessly walking with this dookie, and she's like standing in front of the Capitol steps. I don't know. It felt like forever, like yelling something with the poop in the bag. Okay. And it feels like forever. She puts her hand in the poop.
Oh no.
No, that didn't actually happen. No, that
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't sure how to end I wasn't sure how to end the story, but she basically disappeared after that. And I'm like, where did this lady go? Like she was just gone.
She did yell at she was yelling at the building.
She was yelling I mean, it was a Wednesday, like there was like no legislators there. So it was pretty empty in front of the Cap. So like nobody was there except for like a passing family who's like, why did we bring our kids? You know, we have Pooh Lady just yelling stuff at the Capitol. Yeah, fix the damn roads. Fix the roads. That's probably what it was. She's
no one's
mad
there
about her local roads. So she's yelling poop stuff at the Capitol building.
So
I don't know, dude. That was so. I don't know. I never saw the dog again. I don't know where she would have left the dog, because all she did was walk like downtown and then back. It was such a weird thing, dude.
Sounds
That's really
California. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's hilarious.
It was crazy.
So what did you do this weekend?
Yeah.
Buddy?
Let's see. My dad's side of the family was in Nashville. So we went out to dinner Friday night, all together. And then Saturday I held open house here for my parents' home, and then Sunday as well. My dad was all bummed because his Milwaukee Brewers were blacked out because they were playing Atlanta. And so they're blacked out with Atlanta and they're blacked out with Cincinnati when you're in Nashville. And the only team they played for the 2 weeks that I've been here were those two. So my poor dad had no.
Oh my gosh.
He was going crazy. But I loved it because the Tigers were playing the Angels last week. And when I'm in town in Orange County, when Angels are in Detroit, I can't watch it because it's blacked out. So I got to see it here. So it was so good to be able to watch.
Nice.
You know, because I know the Angel players, you know, I don't hate that team, obviously.
Right.
And then, my parents packed up and left Monday morning to go to Elkhart to go see Aunt Jan because she had surgery. And
shout
my
out to
dad,
Aunt Jan.
we had a passing on.
Shout out Aunt Jan.
Yeah, right.
Shout out.
He had eye surgery. And my dad had to go to Milwaukee because we had a passing on that side of the family. And so I'm just here alone. Lindsay's down the road with her adorable son. And we went to the Barbie movie yesterday. So that's what we did.
How was that?
Yeah. It was really good. It's actually really deep, believe it or not. It's like super
That's what I keep hearing.
shallow and super deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a mixture of both. And my little nephew is so cute. He wore like a little white hat with a pink ribbon on it and like these pink funky glasses, like a Ken. And Lindsay and I were all in our pink. And I cried like 4 times during the movie. But
oh my gosh,
really?
So,
no.
but yeah,
Dang.
I go, Lindsay, did you cry? Lindsay's like, no.
Well, you did
The
for both
movie's a
of you,
lot
so
about
that worked out.
sexism. Yeah, a lot. I cried a ton. The movie's very much about sexism. So it's really like, it's kind of like sometimes I didn't like it, like what they were doing to the guys. You know, they like the girls were, I didn't like that part. And I guess Erica, our cousin, didn't like that part either. But it's good though. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't like that part either. Just hearing about it.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, I mean, let's not be too mean to the guys. Gosh.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
The
Some of us
injustices
are-
of the men in this country.
Some of us are trying really hard.
So it's good though. It's good. I'm gonna go see it again for sure.
Dang, nice.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that leads me to my weekend, where I did not do anything on Saturday.
But you did cry 4 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Different reasons.
Different reasons. I was a little low.
That's my normal Saturday.
My brother was at a golf scramble without me. It was sad.
We could have used it.
No, which we did. It was kind of like the first Saturday in like 2 months where we didn't have like anything going on, so it was kind of nice. Short lived, because that leads us into what we're about to talk about, which was we got up at 4 a.m. to go to yeah, some of us to go to Detroit Lions training camp. That we got there. Practice started at 8:30. I don't know if you want me to just go on my rant now.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay.
Why not?
I was very underwhelmed. Now, it's not, I don't blame the team. I don't blame Dan Campbell. I don't blame anybody. Sunday walkthrough, right? Sunday walkthrough. But after the MC announced that Corey Schlesinger was going to be there and Joey Bell was going to be there, I thought they were like going to come talk to us. We never heard anything again from anybody.
Like us specifically? Like call us?
No,
free
yeah,
out?
right.
It's like BD Sports Talk.
I know you guys are up there.
Put your
You
phone
guys got
away.
these free tickets.
So while practice was going on, you couldn't have your phone out for obvious reasons. And so we never heard anything again. The only thing I heard pretty much the whole practice was put your phone away. Hey, you, put your phone away. Hey, you, put your phone away, is essentially what I heard. And then they stopped and they put 20 minutes on the clock. And after 20 minutes, the lady goes, smell you later. Thanks for coming out. So it was we were done by 10:30.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the second team was on our side the whole time, which, that's fine. I think the only people that came to the mass of people, only players were like Jameer Gibbs did for a little bit, Adrian Martinez. I can't think of anybody else. So
Riley Patterson got a big yell.
Riley Patterson.
Yeah.
Riley Patterson. Which also gets me into my second rant about full-grown men who want the kicker's autograph. So practice got done, and like everybody from the bleachers went straight to the railing, as you guys know, and they're like, Riley, sign this. It's just like, you're 45 years old, dude. He was traded for a 7th round pick. like, hey, I hope he works out too, but I mean, you're acting like it's Jason Hansen out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be different if it was Jason Hansen.
I was gonna say
somebody who'd been
too,
around for a while, but like he just came back.
Yeah.
Like this dude's been here for 3 weeks and you're screaming his name. I mean, the dude was practically flashing him out there, lifting his shirt up. Riley!
Pretending to kick footballs all day.
Yeah. Riley! Look at this!
Sign my chest. Please sign my
It was
chest.
like,
Riley.
dude, the guy's been back for 3 weeks. Take it easy, all right? I mean, come on.
We didn't even see him kick a real ball all day.
No, he fake kicked the whole time.
Yeah, he fake kicked the ball the entire practice.
Yep. Never once. So, anyways, that was my 2 rants. I don't know what your guys' thoughts.
It kind of leads into talking about the kicker. The only takeaway I have, other than seeing like a couple of the rookies working with the first team, which was pretty cool, was in something I brought up to you guys while we were there, is like the sweet life of a kicker. I mean, we always joke around like, hey, tell your kid to be like a kicker, work on kicking the ball. Like, it's not easy to do, but if they can do it, that is a sweet gig. I mean, the whole time we're out there, we just said Riley Patterson only did fake kicks, never even fully extended his leg. I mean, our best kicker, the punter, Fox, he did 5 to 7 punts over the course of a 2-hour practice. Like that's, and they weren't stretching with the other guys. They weren't running with the other guys. They're just chilling together in the middle of the field talking. Like, that is the gig.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. And you get to make the game-winning like field goals. Like, if it comes down to, like, you also might get carried off the field by your team, and you practiced not even a quarter of the amount that the rest of the team practiced that week. And they're carrying you off.
You don't even have to walk back; they just carry.
I know, dude. You don't even have to walk it off the field. They carry you off the field. Like, hey, it's a great job if you can get it. A lot of pressure, and it's not easy, but man,
only 32 spots, right?
Watching that, I was like, that would be it. Like, that's ideal.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it was 35 spots, Dean, if you count the 3 kickers the Lions were holding for a while. Dean, your thoughts on it?
I thought it was cool. Like you said, it was pretty underwhelming pretty much the whole time. I mean, we didn't get a great view of the first team, or Dan Campbell didn't even come like past like the hashtag markers over to the side we were on. Like, his back was to us like the whole time. He was like, no, not those fans, not those. Like, we were the away team, like, But I mean, it's still pretty cool to be out there watching them. Seeing Marvin Jones kind of moving around a little bit was pretty cool. And I mean, overall, I thought it was cool. We got to meet Slash and Joik. I mean, that was pretty cool. That was the highlight for sure. Other than the dirty look, Joik, Big Dave Bill.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said to him, man.
I said thank you.
Yeah, disrespectfully. But I was nervous to meet Slash. But other than that, it was pretty cool. I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it.
That was cool.
He kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
Slash?
Yeah.
I mean, he could throw those pads on today. Bet.
Yeah. Him and Spielman get out there.
Dude, if you didn't know that was Schlesinger, he could probably pass as Spielman. Could he not?
Yeah.
Possible.
A little bit. Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you ever been to a training camp, Dodie?
Not the Lions, definitely. And my boyfriend and I were really excited to hear about your guys' experience, because we were discussing, what you guys were saying you did over the weekend. Last year, the Rams. We went down to the Rams training camp, which is literally, 2 blocks from me where I live. And so, we were down there before audience was allowed to watch, so we were trying to sneak in. And sometimes my boyfriend can pass for an ex-football player. He gets asked that sometimes.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Just because he's big. And so, we were hoping that was going to be the case. So we were like just walking and just, kind of acting like, we belong there. And then they did ask us, like, if we had tickets. And we're like, oh, no, we didn't know. We played dumb. But
you're going to say that to a legend here?
Yeah, to
a Rams legend? He's not allowed to watch practice?
We were hoping to see Matt Stafford for sure,
Yeah.
love him. But yeah, my boyfriend, usually if someone asks if he was an NFL player, he does say he played for the Lions. And
oh my gosh, that's great. That's great. Oh. See, I try to tell people that all the time, but nobody believes me.
Same.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So, I had it in a different spot, but if you're bringing up Stafford, so obviously, you being a Lions fan, what was it like when, like, for LA fans, were they excited for him to be there?
Yeah, they were. And they were like, have fun with Goff. They were like, take him. Oh, yeah, they were so.
Like, he was the throwaway piece.
Oh. Yeah, they were like, oh, I'm so over him, And then, look what happened. And then that was such a amicable trade, Remember that game, the Rams and the Lions that year? Do you remember it in LA at SoFi? Yeah. You guys didn't come out for it, did you?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, I'd be very upset if you didn't call me.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, well, we went, about 4 or 5 of us. We have our little Michigan posse in California. And we literally got tickets on the day, drive up Sunday for $40 a piece.
Whoa.
What
a deal.
Californians are not big sports fans, and they're flaky people. They're not like Michigan people. And this
is all we got.
A piece. Right?
40 bucks. Yeah. So this is all we got.
$40 a piece. And, I was a little nervous to wear a Lions jersey there. They were all over. There were so many, and there were so many Stafford jerseys all over both teams. Like, it was just like a happy competition. Like, it wasn't. It was really cool. Like, and I bet so many people that flied in from Michigan.
Yeah.
And it was like I remember one lady said, I want both teams to win. Like, it was like a really like happy game. Yeah. And then we lost. But it was good at the beginning. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
We never went to our seats. We just walked around the entire time. That stadium is the most beautiful stadium I've ever been in. It is gorgeous.
Top of the line. Yeah.
It's like happy energy there and light and bright. And I remember when we were leaving and, we lost. I remember the Rams fans. I remember these people in particular going, these Michigan people are the nicest fans. They were like, oh, you guys are like so nice. You're not like overly mad, and we're like, well, we're kind of used to
it. We've seen a lot of these losses here.
Yeah, I mean, we've taken a lot of L's.
It was a good hot dog here today. That was a win.
So good energy. And now, like doing so well at last year, that people are like, dang, what happened? And then Stafford, like my dad and I have been wondering, like, my dad's like, was that just a fluke that one year or what? Like, is he playing this year? What's going on?
I mean, he was pretty banged up when he went to LA. I mean, I felt it was on borrowed time with him anyway. That's why, I don't know if we talked about it on here or not, about him and his contract and not restructuring it. He wouldn't restructure it. So I feel he did that a lot with the Lions. He's like, I'm getting my money now.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh, you're saying because he just did that with the Rams.
Yeah. So, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I would figure that Rams fans experience with like Raiders fans, because I heard Raiders fans are quite obnoxious. Yeah.
them, and even Packer fans. Like, I have to speak carefully here with my dad's side, but bless those Packer fans that they are spoiled. They are so used to winning.
Do they know?
And they are sore losers. They are. And I'm sorry, their time may have come. So they are sore losers.
Man, we're hoping. Biggest fear.
One more Hall of Fame QB in Green Bay, and I'm giving up, man.
Yeah, third Hall of Fame quarterback in a row.
Yeah, come on.
That's hilarious.
That would be annoying.
You know what? I'm done. We're gonna get into Tiger stuff because the trade deadline today. Yeah, you got the shirt on. I love it.
Yeah, my new shirt.
It's good, man. We really needed somebody who brought in some expertise on the Tigers here. And I know you watch all the games. So I thought it was like crucial. It felt important that she was in on this one, especially up at the trade deadline.
That's
I'm not providing much.
I love the Tigers, yes. I'm watching them right now. They're on my phone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Even better.
So real quick, I'll go over kind of what happened today. Erod declined the trade to LA. A lot of people said that. A lot of comments on social media says because living in LA is the same as living in Detroit. It's like I don't know about that.
Interesting.
At minimum, the weather.
I know. I saw that.
I mean, minimum the weather. From there, I don't know, but it sounds nice.
Yeah, no, Erod smashed that no trade clause button, huh? Just like you guys should smash the subscribe button. I told you I'd have
Oh my gosh.
You're so lame.
I am so lame. Besides that, Ed, if you want to get into Lorenzen being traded.
Yeah, Lorenzen to the Phillies. I mean, the Phillies came back to the Tigers well there after picking up Soto and Clemens earlier in the year. I mean, I don't think we could have asked for a lot more than what we got for Lorenzen. The fifth best prospect in the Phillies organization. You probably weren't getting a top 100 MLB prospect, as we kind of highlighted last week. Hao-Yo Lee, 20 years old, so he's still got time to develop. I think when I looked on MLB, prospect rankings, that kind of stuff, he's projected to potentially hit the big leagues in 2025. If things go well. I mean, he's 20, anything could happen. And other than that, I mean, he's hitting 283 in high A, 372 OBP, which is nice. Obviously, for MLB, 360 is a good OBP. It kind of goes down the further down you go. So it's like, okay. But, again, he's 20 from Taiwan. That's got to be such a huge adjustment that, I mean, he's still getting his feet under him. But I thought, I was kind of curious on your guys' thoughts here because I think Lorenzen, I'm hoping, is kind of like a sign of the development that Scott Harris is bringing to Detroit, in that Lorenzen, a career 4.08, 4.0 something ERA guy. This year he's at 3.58. Obviously he's having the best year he's had in a while, at least a while. And it just started with them reducing the amount of pitch. Like, he used to be a 7-pitch guy. They took 2 pitches off of him. They took his curveball and his cutter away. And I think it just helped him focus more on what he's got going on. And I think you're kind of seeing that with some of the younger pitchers too, a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, it seems like when these guys are getting in, they're firing pretty good. And so I'm just hoping, and I was hoping, Doty could kind of hit this because, Scott Harris is pretty familiar out there on the West Coast. The development there, because I was excited when they got him. the Giants are obviously historically good at bringing people through. And so I didn't know what the feel was because I didn't even know his name until like Detroit got him, right? I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I was like, oh, I'm a big Scott Harris guy before he came to Detroit. I had no idea he was a person until like they were like, hey, we hired him. You know, like, okay.
All right, we got him.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
excited for what's coming forward.
I don't know that much about him in particular. I know they did
Sure.
interview him tonight on the Tiger game. They were waiting for a while for him to make his appearance. I know Lorenzen said that he had an amazing time in Detroit and that, of course, loved the fans. Everyone loves our fans. And he said he learned so much in our organization. Like, you know, and that the announcers are saying is a really good sign for like our upcoming young pitchers. You know, that it's a great tutorial. So they were saying that I find that interesting that Rodriguez said he didn't go. That was very interesting to me. Yeah, really surprised about that. But I have to say, two of our ex-Tigers, did you hear about that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Scherzer and Verlander.
Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, first of all, why does anyone want them anymore? I mean, you know, I mean, I am older than them, but come on, they're old. You know?
Hot take on that one.
Oh, she says, who
I'm
wants
just
these
saying,
scrubs?
You know?
Who wants these scrubs?
They're has-beens. Like, I can't believe we're still in, you know? And it's funny, the Mets were loading up on those guys, and they're like, no, we're rid of the grandpas here. And so it's back to Texas. But it'll be interesting because those two teams are, you know, like battling it out with the Angels in the third. That would be interesting, you know. I thought Verlander would come back to Detroit before his career is done. I've heard that many times. I don't know if you guys have heard that ever.
I always thought he would.
Yeah.
I think that's
Like
always
on a
kind of the
one-year
hope
deal.
too, you know. You always hope that those guys come back for one more year, you know.
Yeah, and we're at the end here, so I was kind of thinking maybe this would be it.
He's done. He's done.
Stick the fork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once this contract is over for him, because he's got one more year, right? Which is what made him a little lucrative to them. Because somebody had commented to me as soon as it happened that, oh, the whoever got more back, or the Astros, the Mets got more back for Verlander than we got for Lorenzen. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, there's 2 years on Verlander. He's a former MVP. I don't know why you're bringing that up.
Future Hall of
honestly.
Famer,
You know,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, in general, once that contract's up, you would assume he's retiring. And maybe, I always thought maybe he'd sign a potential one-day contract with the Tigers. But now that he's gone back to the Astros, we might just see him end up retiring as an Astro and a Hall of Famer as an Astro.
I know. I was afraid of that. But
yeah.
I mean, he did
enough.
win World Series. I mean,
yeah, we've moved on. I guess.
But I mean, he met Kate Upton in Michigan.
Yeah,
That's got to mean something.
It's
got to count for something.
It's got to.
Come on, man.
It ought to count for something. Come on.
So, speaking of old men, wanted to talk about Miggy real quick, and another, hey, MVP numbers, huh, Dean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he retires a Marlin? You think he's just like, I love him after that ovation? He's just
I would
like
throw
Marlin,
my own personal riot if he retired as a Marlin.
His only World Series as a Marlin.
I mean,
in his
that's
rookie
it though.
Yeah. You're not.
They didn't pay him $30 million a season to wave at fans 3 times a week. If they want to do that, then he can retire as a Marlin.
It was a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool standing ovation for him, though.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
That was.
Thoughts on the farewell tour thing? Because as a kid, like I don't remember farewell tours.
no,
you know what I mean? I don't know if it just started becoming a thing. And it's been kind of cool to see him get like different things from different cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, every city that they play though. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I know. He's gonna have like a room full of junk. I mean, some of it's junk. I mean, no offense, but like the Milwaukee Brewers gave him a cheesehead. Like,
yeah,
right.
You think he was a cheesehead? He's probably a Lion fan, I hope.
He better be.
Yeah, it better be.
30 million a season.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. At 3 mil a season?
Come on. Never saw him at a game though.
Well, I bet he was at one.
I would imagine, and I mean, maybe like a smorgasbord of cheese, but what's he gonna do with a cheese head? You know,
or like a cheese subscription?
Yeah, a cheese subscription.
I mean, that would be nice. Yeah. Send me a monthly cheese.
We got you Hello Fresh, Miggy. There you go, buddy. Not a sponsor.
I like what Seattle did. They did like a Starbucks gift certificate or some kind of big Starbucks thing. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
$10 gift card.
Yeah.
Here's a Citgo gas card for you.
That's half of a coffee. You're rich enough to buy the other half. What the heck? Miami did it right too, man. I mean, they lined it up on the Venezuelan Heritage Celebration weekend. So I think a combination of all that stuff really led to a big thing. I mean, he's obviously a Venezuelan baseball hero, not to mention a Detroit Tigers baseball hero, then you got a whole country, so I thought that was cool that the way they did that. But other than that, I don't have any other further thoughts on it. I thought it was cool that they lined it up that way. And, I mean, he deserves his due, man.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's always smiling, playing with the people on, the first base, second base, Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the Angels do. I know when Jeter did his, they gave him a surfboard with his number on it. So 3. So that's what I'm thinking maybe for Miggy. I'll be at those games for sure.
Oh,
I go to every single one.
You're gonna have to let us know.
like stalker,
But, I see.
She's like, I don't even have tickets. I'm just there.
So we'll see. My guess it may be a surfboard or something like that. Can you imagine Miggy surfing? I don't know.
Oh man. Hey, you know what? If he's gonna do it now, I don't mind if he surfs now.
Yeah, you can
go out into the ocean, man. 5-6 years ago, I'd be like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah. Put the Guitar Hero guitar down.
Exactly.
He can join Scherzer and Verlander, the has-beens.
Yeah. Them washed up, crusty, old pitchers. That's straight from Detroit Doty. Don't even forget it.
That's quotes.
Just saying. I don't know why they.
Hey, fair enough. I loved it.
Yeah, that was great.
That's the good stuff.
So post deadline, what I wanted to get was your guys' thoughts. Now, they did, Eddie, you pretty much nailed the head.
Sure did.
Nailed it on the head.
Whatever it was, I definitely did it.
You nailed it on the head with them selling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They didn't buy, they didn't full on sell. Almost really kind of stayed pat on getting rid of people. The Tigers 6.5 back. I just saw, I don't know if you're watching the game still. I don't want to
Oh, it just finished.
Okay, so all right, so you did see it. I didn't know if you were behind. So
Mhm.
they did lose. 6.5 back. Minnesota has lost 5.
Of course. I know, dude. I saw that.
The AL Central's not looking great right now.
Mm-mm.
Do you think they have a chance to win the division? We'll start with Doty first.
Thank you. So I was asking my dad that the other day because the Tigers have thrown in the towel, technically.
Mhm.
And I said to my dad, is there ever a time when a team throws in the towel and they make it? And he said, no. But I
thought you were gonna say something inspirational. You're like, no, he didn't.
I know. I was like, darn it. But I'm looking at it. I'm like, the Angels are going for it. And they're in the middle, and we're in the middle too. Just about the same far back. We're definitely not the same winning percentage. But I don't feel like they should have completely given up.
I agree. I mean, at this point now, we all know whoever wins the Central's not going to probably go very far in the postseason. Why not? Why not go for the division, right? What's the worst thing that happened? So
at this point, I mean, you only got rid of Lorenzen, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at this point, you're just kind of hoping that maybe it's just a miracle August. August.
I think you're
and
discounting
October or September coming up.
You're discounting what Hao Yu Lee is going to bring to the lineup
in 2 years.
Yeah,
2 years?
2 years from now.
Him and Max Clark in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's tough because, like we've gone over this. They're not. If you're just hoping to hang the banner that you won the division, and that's really all you're looking to do, then yeah, go for it. And also, my other thing that I've brought up a bunch of times is it might be the only way Illich spends money. Like, it would have to be a situation where, the Angels re-sign Ohtani for $500 million and then we trade for him. Like, it would have to be something like that. It just doesn't feel like he's a spending guy. And I went over those numbers before, so don't need to rehash that. But Lorenzen, I don't feel like we lost much. We didn't gain much because we got young guys who can come up and pitch. I think at least as good as Lorenzen. Not as good as he's been pitching this year so far, but that are at least as good as he is in general.
Like overall, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you had guys coming back, Manning. I know Scooble just went down, hurt a little bit, or he went down to minors for a hot second. But all those guys are at least as talented, if not as good as Lorenzen.
Mm-hmm.
And Lorenzen's having a year,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe with some of the tutelage he got here, he continues to carry that over and it holds a 3.5 ERA for the remainder of his career. I mean,
it happens.
Right.
If there was a time to go for it, it's hard to say that this is the time because the roster isn't good enough to actually win anything.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be cool to see. I would love to. I mean, it's definitely awesome to watch them win and go for a division title or make the playoffs. Like, I mean, how long has it been since the Detroit teams made the playoffs? 15, 16 Red Wings?
Yeah.
Yeah, 15, 16 Red Wings. I think so. Yeah, that would be the last time.
It's like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Or it lines up whenever Blake Griffin was last with the Pistons. I mean,
yeah,
right.
Other than that, it's been a so just to see them make the playoffs would be super cool. It'd be a big jolt for the fans of Detroit sports.
Yeah.
But you got to hopefully trust what Scott Harris is doing. We got a 20-year-old kid for a guy that's probably not going to be with us anyway longer than the season.
Right.
And so
you think Erod turned down the trade because he's going to opt out?
I don't
at
think
the end of
that's
the
why
season.
he opted out. Or I don't think that's why he declined the trade.
Why
Because
do you
he's
think
going to opt out anyway.
Right.
I think there's other factors. I mean, remember last year, what was his big reason for being gone? It wasn't that he was injured. There was personal stuff going on. And that it just occurred to me within the day. You know, obviously after hearing that he declined, I'm like, well, why would he turn down going to the Dodgers? A chance to maybe win. He's going to opt out anyway. He's going to get paid whatever he's going to get paid after the year, regardless if we kept him or he went to LA. And so, but honestly, his potential to make more money would have been to go to LA because they could have made a run in the playoffs. He could have elevated himself more that way. But I remember, you know, he had the marital issues or whatever was going on. He had, you know, personal, I think, mental health issues going on last year too. And so maybe the change of scenery just wasn't for him at this time. And I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, honestly. And he's felt comfortable, probably. He's had success now. And maybe he just feels comfortable moving forward with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Or he'll still opt out. And well, if he just keeps his contract, he's basically taking a pay cut.
Come on, to help the team. Yeah, that's true.
Because he'll make more money if he opts out.
Yeah.
So even if he just keeps his contract, it's a pay cut. But we'll see.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Dodgers were one of 10 teams. Like the no trade clause was only for 10 teams, and the Dodgers were one of them.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. I found that a little interesting.
Huh.
I wonder why.
Who knows?
It's so hard to know.
Maybe there's a dude there he doesn't like.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody invites you to a party and you're like, who's all there? And you're just really looking for one name. Like, oh, that person's there. I'm definitely.
Oh, you know what? That's in my 10 party clause.
Yeah, that's in my party clause.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with them.
Riding it out.
Yeah, essentially at this
just
point.
Riding it out.
So, moving forward, we're gonna start talking about the Lions training camp. I know we talked about our experience there, the overall training camp and I haven't got to watch this yet, but Dan Campbell was on Pardon My Take for Barstool, and that dude is just so, I mean, I guess bias, you know, but the dude's just so infectious.
Like, I don't know if that's bias though.
That's true.
I feel like that's who he really.
People who have been around him continually say that. I mean, I brought up that quote from Teddy Bridgewater. It wasn't like when he was interviewing to be our backup. That was in 2021, you know, after Campbell left.
With the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure, dude.
The dude he's everything that we had wanted in a coach, right? I mean, for so long, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's awesome to see. I just, you know, but anyways, training camp. The day after we recorded, Badgley got released. That turned into a 2-kicker battle real quick.
Yeah.
It makes sense with that 7th round draft pick now.
It does. It makes complete sense now. It all makes sense. But now it doesn't make any sense why they re-signed Badgley, though, because he was already going to be gone. And then they re-signed him, and then they just let him go.
We had this conversation exactly last week.
I can't get over it, Ed. It's the money badger, man.
Because they
I love that guy.
Badgley go.
Yeah. Still, not to rehash old stuff, but you know, it's still
salty.
It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. That's all.
This is again
over
Dean
kickers.
Not trusting Brad Holmes now.
I am trusting. But at the kicker position, I'm getting a little worried.
He's getting a little worried. Brad Holmes' decision on kicker.
That's his 1 weak spot, you know, is the kicker position. You just can't decide. You can't decide.
Oh man.
I mean, somebody had to go, right? I mean,
yeah, you would have thought it was the dude from the XFL.
that dude can hit a 60-plus yard field goal, though, and they like that. That's why Seibert won last year.
Because a lot of coaches don't like that.
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Most coaches hate a guy who can hit.
You know what I mean? Like they'll take less accuracy
like
for a guy that can hit it, that can kick the ball far. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
But we had Jason Hansen for 15, 20 years. He didn't have a big leg.
He was pretty accurate over 50 yards.
He was accurate.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
So also Kennedy was released, but he cleared waivers.
And he's back.
And he's back.
Welcome to the IR, friend.
Did they put him on IR? I haven't seen if they've made a decision.
Yeah,
they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in a when we were there, he was in a sling at the training camp. I saw him walking around with his arm. Remember, I was like, who's the guy with the broken arm?
I mean, they're probably going to play it like they did with...
Probably a trainer or something.
Yeah.
They're probably going to
They're probably going to have to play it the way they did with CJ Moore last year. Right? They're IR, because if they leave him on IR after they get to the 53-man roster, he has to stay on IR for the whole season.
Right.
So like they did with CJ Moore, they cut him before, or redesignated him for, I don't know, something, as a time limited IR, or like on the specific injury situation. And then they just brought him back on once he was healthy. But if they keep him on IR, they'll lose him. Obviously they weren't. The only issue with that, leaving him on IR and then doing that, is that another team could sign him. But obviously, they're not super worried about that.
I don't think,
because he cleared waivers.
Yeah, I think he was worried
he made it all the way through the waivers. But I mean, it is different, because waivers, they would have to potentially give a comp pick in the future.
That's true.
As opposed to just signing.
But is any team really worried that they're going to have to give a comp pick for?
I don't think we're worried.
Tom Kennedy? No, not at all. Oh yeah.
I did see something yesterday about, there's a lot of talk about JMO, about Jameson Williams. And I wanted to ask you guys, is it a big deal? Because I have my answer for this, but is it a big deal to you guys that he dropped some passes and that he got into a little skirmish at training camp?
I heard that. I was wondering if that was a rumor, the skirmish. So he did?
From what was said was that he threw a punch, but someone who was there, I was reading X today, not Twitter, it's X now, that was way blown out of proportion.
I'm sure
that he didn't. Yeah,
you take a swipe at somebody's helmet in practice. You've done that.
Yeah,
who hasn't? If you've played, you've taken a swipe at somebody's helmet, and I wouldn't call it a punch.
Yeah.
Well, you might call it a punch sometimes. Things get rough in the trenches. The dirtiest player in the game. Even in practice.
So did you guys think, Dodie, do you think that's a big deal at all?
I do worry a little bit about him.
That's fair.
I like him. A lot. I think he has a ton of potential. But ever since the draft, he looked like he did not want to be there.
You are not wrong.
What do you mean?
Oh my
he was thrilled.
Like, it was kind of sad. And, I was like, oh man, and then the gambling thing, it's like he needs to, be on his best behavior, I think. What do you think?
To me, it's not a big deal. As far as the training camp stuff goes, not a big deal. It is. I almost feel like he's just made out to be this bad. And I get it. Like some of the things that he's done doesn't help. But I think I attribute a lot of that to just him being young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's still so. I mean, was he 21? Maybe.
I was just like,
Sure.
maybe
Man.
he might just
maybe
be
21.
Yeah.
You know, still a kid, and just and he's learning. And you hear, I see it, right? I see how people get the idea of him, but man, he's just so young. I just think he just needs time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, let's face it too. Wide receiver is a diva position, right? Out of all the positions, and you know what I mean. So I don't know. To me, it wasn't a big deal as far as that stuff goes. But I can see it being a big deal overall to some people. You know what I mean? With everything that's gone on with the gambling and things like that. Even though we talked about this and the whole gambling thing and how it was kind of backwards, I guess you could say, and how he shouldn't have gotten 6 games. So I don't know. That's just my thought.
Especially with the NFL going back and being like, oh, we could have been a little bit more. I mean, they could take a couple games off, but he said he's just going to serve it, right? And it's not even. I don't know.
Well, yeah. What else is he going to do?
I mean, he could appeal it.
Mm-hmm.
He could. I wish he would. I wish a little fire in his belly would be nice every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, you don't want to get on the field sooner?
How many games last year? Like 8? He was out a lot.
At least the first half of the season, at least.
Yeah, at minimum 8.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Now this year, it's like, dang, when's he gonna play? You know, kind of like Cade Cunningham. It's like we gotta get these guys.
Yeah, dude.
When are you
get
gonna
that
get on
the
court? Yeah, get him on the court.
Hey, just keep dropping bombs over there, man. Like, let's tear some people up.
Yeah.
Cade, what you doing, man? Get on the court.
You've already ripped beef stew apart. You don't need to.
Hey, beef stew knows where I'm coming from.
I do love beef stew. I do love some beef stew.
That's right. We all do. This is a beef stew friendly show, isn't it?
It's an honest beef stew show.
It's a beef stew.
Eddie kind of went in on him. It was like, what, 6 episodes ago?
Something like that.
Before he signed his extension.
Yeah, now he's a big beef stew fan.
Yeah,
I like the contract, and I like what it signifies. I don't like if they paid him $5 more million and he's supposed to be our starter.
That's
I
fair.
don't like that. He's a very solid complimentary piece at the price that he got. Before that, no. You're not going to win a championship unless you have, Wade, Bosch, and LeBron, and he's your other guy also. Like, yeah, you could win a championship that way, but what we got going on, if he's our starting number 4, no. We're probably not going to win a championship. If he's the 6th, 7th guy, great. That's ideal.
Fantastic. It's the perfect spot for him.
It is. That's where I'm at. So you can count it as hate, whatever. But to me, I think that's straight up the goods on beef stew.
That's like where some guys are good at. Like, remember, you guys were so young, but like Vinny Johnson,
the microwave, baby.
Oh,
and that was his job. Come off the bench and heat it up.
Heat it up. Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. If he could heat it up defensively, and he's not jacking up an egregious amount of threes.
But he's developing it though. It's still in the works.
Yes. Yes, the 20+ year development of Beef Stew's jump shot is still under works.
Oh, that's.
I'm not
funny.
saying he can't get better at shooting, because you can. Like, you can always improve.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no big jump. He's at where he's at, and you can't get that much better when you get to that level.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's all. I love
Doty,
Beef Stew.
Yeah. Doty, Eddie agrees with you on Cade, by the way. Eddie also went off about how he's borderline a bust.
I mean, I like him a lot. I really like him. It's just like, dang.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when the draft, it's like sometimes these people, you know, get the first, second, you know, Cade was the very first, right? And this doesn't mean that it's going to be a win, you know.
Right.
He's been hurt.
No guarantees. You know?
That's fair. I think some of that's just based on, like, there's so much hope riding on Cade that it stinks.
It's a lot of pressure
that he's not on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't have it, if you go out there and you play your ass off and you don't have it, you don't have it, dude. And you know what? You'll get crap for that too. But if if you're not even out there, man, it's like, it's just frustrating.
It's it's disappointing to the fan base.
Yeah.
Probably to himself as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
He needs to beef up a bit too. Like, I talk a lot.
Then beef up a bit, would you? Hot day.
And I'm more than happy to help.
Hey, there you go.
Well, he's listening, so you know.
He's a big fan of the show.
Big fan.
I would love a job with the Pistons. Help them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I agree. Any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll be the towel boy.
I'll pick up the octopus on the ice. I don't care.
There's nothing I won't towel off. I mean,
there's nothing I won't towel.
Straight up.
Well, I will tell you.
For a job in the organization, I mean, call me the towel boy.
Like, back in the day, I wrote the Pistons a letter a couple times asking if I could be the ball girl. And like, I did, for real.
That's awesome.
Like,
those jerks.
And I think the Tigers too. I wrote them like in 1987. Ask if I could be the bat girl.
Yeah.
But I never got a reply.
Those turds.
Yeah.
So
man,
funny.
That's cool.
That would have been cool. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Oh my gosh.
One last thing in regards to the Lions. I wanted to bring up Amon-Ra. We like to bring him up on the podcast quite a bit.
I love that guy.
If you Dodie, if you didn't know, Eddie and Amon-Ra have a little bit of a relationship.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Practically best friends.
Secret lovers.
And non-secret lovers. I wouldn't hide that. You kidding me?
No kidding, right?
He liked one comment on Facebook, and
serious?
It meant everything to me at the time.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just at the time when they released that the Lions were going to play the Chiefs, first game of the season. And it was just a let's effing go. Big time on the thing, and he liked it, and then I'm like, okay, that's a fake account, and then it wasn't, and I was like, we're best friends now.
That's so awesome.
I DM him every day, and
that is
he's
so
yet to
cool.
respond.
He's from Orange County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there word on him out there when he was at USC, like, this kid's got something, or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he played at Mater Dei, which is it's like the Notre Dame of the high schools in Orange County. You know, it's like the fancy high school to go to in Orange County. And they bring in football players from all over the nation. I mean,
wow.
Yeah. They got some big people playing there. Because some of my nutrition clients have children that go there. And actually, Alma Ra asked their daughter out on a date once. And I'm like, why didn't you go? Because she was like, I want a doctor.
Oh my gosh.
She wanted a doctor. And I'm like,
you spoiled turd.
But it could have been better.
I'm like, you could have hooked me up.
Oh my gosh.
No kidding.
So I give her a hard time about it. She's like, I want a doctor, not a football player. But anyway, it's a big deal out there for sure. People like that a lot, and that whole family. He was the bodybuilder, the dad is a bodybuilder. And, so he had his sons working out, lots of discipline there. And I think that the family's well liked, and I definitely know people that know them. I know quite a few people that know them. I don't know them personally, but yeah, they're a big name. Like they come to the golf charities, the charity golf events that we have in Orange County and stuff. So they're like local celebrities.
That's super cool.
That's awesome.
Well, Eddie knows him personally.
Oh, so personal. Yeah. Me and the sun god were.
That's awesome. Do you think the disrespect just drives him every single day? He just looks at a different list every single day and is like, "Oh, I'm not top 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go do 1,050 push-ups."
Freddie probably does that many too.
It's his pre-workout.
Because he said that last year in the Hard Knocks show, didn't he?
Yeah.
Listed off all the receivers taken before him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's not Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? Like that dude's just on a different level. But like, to not even be listed in a top 10 list, to me is insane.
I personally hope they keep leaving him out of these lists.
Yeah.
I think that's why we love him so much, right? Like he just embodies the Detroit sports life. Like you just feel overlooked. You feel like there's a chip, and he carries it and he doesn't hide it. And you're like, yeah, I'm on board with that, man. Like he's the guy. I think he's the most important player to the organization. And that's not a stretch. That's not like a bold take, but I felt that way about him, for some time. And he was taken 4th round, so it's like, it's that Brit. I mean, it does. It makes me emotional every time I think about him liking my comment. I'm just.
We're still riding high.
I mean, it encapsulates the whole thing. Brad Holmes finding talent, 4th round guy, all those receivers taken ahead of him, everything else. He carries that chip. He knows every receiver taken before him. It's Detroit, Hard Knocks, hard luck, all that stuff. And he just carries it. And it's like, he's important to the city. He's important to the team. So, I mean,
I agree.
I'm holding back too, saying all that.
Tears. But he's looked great in camp. I mean, and I did see something where Aaron, defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, he was like, "Don't look too much into practice reps." He's like,
Sure.
It's a dangerous thing, And we're the second week into training camp, so.
I did read something today, and I thought this was interesting because I had talked about, when we talked about CJGJ, Gardner Johnson, maybe having a pride injury last week because he had got burned and knocked down by Gibbs, and then he was fine the next day, right? I read that Gibbs got his welcome to the NFL moment on their first day of pads, where Gardner Johnson smoked him and knocked the ball loose from Gibbs on a route. So
I saw that too.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, there you go. So
well, he said he's the flu. So
contagious.
Dean, you good?
Yeah, I missed that entire section.
Yeah, I know. You
okay.
were
All right. As long as you were aware of that.
You're fine.
It all froze, and then I don't know what happened. And then it just all went black.
You or the phone?
My phone. Yeah.
Oh.
Me. Yeah.
Okay, good. I just
everything went dark.
Okay.
I'm back.
Real quick, we are going to get into our second week of college football. I forgot to add major Michigan teams, right? Sorry if you're from Kalamazoo College and we don't do your preview. I'm sure you guys will be great. So,
oh man.
This week we decided to go with Alma.
Another D3 victory coming up, baby.
Let's go.
The old Scots.
Scots.
So this week we decided to go with Michigan. Mainly because as we get into this, we have 3 more weeks before a month before the first game, I think, and then 3 weeks left of teams. So I saw your face, Ed. Did I do something wrong there?
Who me? No, my phone fell. So.
Oh.
I thought that was Dean's chair. Honestly, I wasn't sure.
No, you'll know if it's the chair. Trust me. I'm staying completely still.
So this week we're gonna get into Michigan. I am one brother of 3 that likes Michigan. The other, I am outnumbered. It is what it is. So, Dodie, you're shaking your head. Yes, like that might be the same thing.
Let's see. Well, I prefer Michigan, but I don't hate Michigan State at all. So I'm one of those. I like both, but I mean, I did my internship at Michigan, so
Right.
See, leave that way.
You're really more of an Eastern Michigan fan.
Yeah. I mean, but they're not like the same level, but yeah, I mean, I prefer Michigan over Michigan State, and my boyfriend is Michigan fan as well. His dad went to Michigan.
Oh,
perfect.
Gross.
Disgusting. What the hell is this?
So, I have quite a bit of stuff on Michigan for what we're going to talk about. I mean, it's not going to take long. That's kind of why we wanted to do Michigan this week, because Michigan is Michigan. When we were talking about it, we had talked about how Michigan State, they just have a lot more questions to their team, right? And I kind of wanted to get into that in a couple weeks, so that when we get real close to the season, we might have some answers to that.
I mean, EMU, MSU, probably the most interesting situations in the state. Not necessarily the most successful or whatever, but the most interesting.
Right.
Coming into the season.
So, I'll let you guys go first. I thought about going first. I'm gonna let you guys go first because I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear it out of your dirty little mouths.
Hey, dear Lord. I'll go first since I really don't have much on Michigan at all.
What?
So obviously, I think they're going to run the table. I think they're going to win out in the Big Ten and all their non-conference games as well. Probably losing the
Stop
college
shaking
playoff.
your head.
Probably lose to an SEC team in the college playoff. But the only thing I found that was interesting that maybe you guys didn't really look into because it might not matter that much, but they got a new kicker this year,
Mm-hmm.
and that could make a big difference sometimes in some games.
Well, certainly.
The guy they had got drafted in the third round, and he hit all 60 of his extra points that he took last year. What's that?
Money Moody.
Booty.
Money Moody. That could play a big role in some shape or form. I don't think they're going to come down to that a lot for them this year, other than maybe Ohio State, Penn State. You never know. Any in-conference game, I think there's a small chance that the rival could win. But overall, I think they're just going to go ahead and probably win the Big Ten, more than likely. Woo!
So,
Yay.
does this kicker have a strong leg? Or it seems like you're a special team specialist.
18.
Yeah, you're big on the kickers.
Not a lot of young college kickers have big leg, but isn't he a transfer from their new
From
kickers? Isn't he a
Louisville.
transfer from
Yeah.
Louisville? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. Anybody can choke in the moment,
That's true.
Anybody can shine in the moment too.
Anybody can shine.
He's carried off the field.
Yeah, maybe he gets carried off shit. But yeah, that's all I really have. That was the only thing interesting I saw for me anyway.
That's fair.
And I figured you have probably quite a bit. So.
Yeah, I do. I don't. Dodie, did you have anything for that at all? I know.
The only thing I have some guys were asking me what I thought about Harbaugh being suspended, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For 6 games?
They're saying it's probably going to be 4.
Oh, 4. Okay. They were asking me if I thought that was going to impact. Of course it's going to, but I think they'll be okay. I went to that last game, the Fiesta Bowl in New Year's Eve last year.
Oh, yeah.
I was really blessed. My best friend from high school's brother gave me tickets.
That's super cool.
Wow.
Because he was thinking they were going to go on. So he gave me these because he didn't want to come out twice. But I guess he probably wouldn't have wanted to see them lose anyway. But
it's a good game.
I didn't. Well, it was.
I would have enjoyed being there myself.
Yeah, you would have. A heartbreaker, but still, it was a good game.
It was a weird game for sure.
Yeah.
I think we thought we were going to stomp all over, but I don't think Harbaugh did a good job getting them ready for that game. I think they were too uptight.
Mm-hmm.
And TCU was all super laid back. They had 2 opposite ways that they were getting ready for that game. And I think U of M was way too tight. So I don't know. That's the only thing that's been on my mind. And I'm super excited to see that guy that was hurt I can't remember his name. The guy that, I think the running back.
Blake Corum.
Yeah, I think he's super good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, well, cool.
Yeah, I thought that
All
was.
right.
I thought that was pretty interesting. Because I'd said a bunch of times last year, the big difference I thought for Michigan over the last few years was the halftime adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
They just became such a better second half team over the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
And I don't know if that's just talent. I don't know if that's coaching adjustments, whatever, but it was working. And they just let too much go in that first half that it was tough to come back. Michigan was the better team, talent-wise. Definitely. They just too much happened in that first half. So getting down to what I think this Michigan, I mean, obviously JJ, Donovan, Blake, they're all back. You know, that's a pretty big three right there. You know, if their defense can do what they did last year, they held opponents to 16.1 points a games last year. They got over half the starters on that defense coming back, 6 total. I mean, the big loss is Mike Morris, you know, Big Ten Defensive Lineman of the Year, you know, and also they lost, you know, that, you know, wheeling, dealing, sky flying, gun toting, limousine, Lamborghini riding Mozzie Smith to the draft this year. On offense, you know, they got both their starting guards back. Obviously, that's huge on a running team like that. They think Colston Loveland, they've been comparing him to Jake Butt. I mean, if he comes close to that, that's huge for them in that room. If you're going to point out any weakness, it's probably the receiving room, but they're still bringing back Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson, 2 good receivers. But overall, the passing offense ranked 83rd last year. So obviously they're relying on that run game. And if you've got Blake and Donovan, you're probably going to do pretty good. But I think that's where you run into issues when you play. Now, obviously they beat OSU, but you play a team like OSU, you play an SEC team. You got to have a little bit more of that speed, I think, on the outside, the wide receivers. I mean, if it wasn't for Cornelius having a couple really big catches in OSU, you know, the passing was pretty sparse. You know, he had 4 catches for 160 yards, and JJ threw for 260 total. So, you know, I mean, if you can hit those big plays, but that's all set up on the run. So, if that's working, I mean, it's going to go great, and I don't see why it won't. So I have them at 11-1. I still have them at 11-1. I think Minnesota is a sneaky tough game. It depends how hard the kids there have been hazed that week, but they probably win at Minnesota. And we've gone back and forth on who they lose to in Big Ten play, but I just thought I need to make a call, and so I'm going to say they're going to lose at Penn State. And I think it's because Penn State plays a similar type of game. They got 2 really good running backs. They've got a solid defense. Ohio State, even though they got Marvin Harrison Jr., that just really plays into one of U of M's strengths. You know, they got a really nice secondary. And so they're also breaking a new quarterback. I know that's the end of the year, so the quarterback will have had a full season by then, but it'll be interesting to see. I just think that plays into more of Michigan's strength than Penn State, who's going to also be playing a ball control defensive style game with a couple good running backs. Penn State's number 5 preseason. So it's not like, you know, I mean, that's a good freaking team. And they're at Happy Valley. So it'll be interesting. But in the end, I like it. U of M going 11-1 and beating whatever scrub comes out of the Western Division and going to the playoffs.
Okay. No. So for me, obviously, we already talked about they were 13-1 Big Ten champions last year. Talked about the TCU game. You know, you've already hit it on the head with the offense returning. JJ Blake, Donovan, Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson, Colston Loveland. I think he's going to be very good.
So like you said, better than Butt?
If not the same, better. Yeah. He's good. He's going to be really good. AJ Barner's pretty good too. So the main thing for me and you, like you said, was the wide receiver room, right? That's the biggest question mark for Michigan. And I don't know. I guess we'll see with Cornelius Johnson there, Roman Wilson. That's 2 pretty good receivers for McCarthy. It's now been this will be his first year, McCarthy's first year starting the whole season, barring he doesn't get hurt, obviously. But you know, I mean,
you got that freak behind him,
Orgy.
Yeah. That athletic freak of nature. His backup.
He's something,
Jeepers, dude.
Yeah. So the offensive line's returning 4 starters: Zach Zinter, Trevor Keegan, Carson Barnhart, and Trenton Jones. Ladarius Henderson transferred in from ASU. Probably be the starter at left tackle, if that's if any indication of what I've been reading comes to fruition. Drake Nugent transferred in from Stanford. He'll probably be the starting center. He replaced Oluwatimi. I've been working on that one. Oluwatimi. I watched something the other day that I had to write down. Greg McElroy, he does like podcasts for ESPN.
Former Bama
he
QB.
said yes,
Yeah.
yes. The offensive line room right now has a combined 151 starts at the FBS level.
That's huge.
That's insane.
That's huge.
Absolutely insane. 151 starts. On a team that's on a line that's won 2 more awards already. So defensively, you already spoke on Mike Morris, Mozzie Smith. They do return Chris Jenkins. Oh yeah, limousine,
wheeling dealing, limousine riding, yeah. Gun toting, Mozzie Smith.
Chris Jenkins was great last year up front. They have all 3 linebackers coming back. Will Johnson may be the best corner in the country.
Pretty darn good.
Mike Sanders still's coming. He's back. Rod Moore's back on the back end. I mean, this might be their best team in the Harbaugh era by far.
Oh, sure.
By far, with the returning production of that team, and this we said it in episode 2 or whatever it was. This isn't me being biased. I mean, a lot of people have them going 12-0. Right. The trap game to me, I think their hardest games are going to be all away. I think they're going to have a tough time in East Lansing. I think they're going to have a tough time in Minnesota. We'll see how it goes at Nebraska with Matt Rule there.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, they all got talented kids, man.
Yeah.
So it's
the real trap game is going to be Maryland. I think they're going to beat Penn State. It's going to be close. And we talked about it before. That to me, that's a toss-up game because it's in Happy Valley. But they get past Penn State. That trap game is Maryland, right there at Maryland.
Oh, it's right after the Penn State game?
Right before Ohio State. It's right in between the two. So that's a call. huge trap. And they're a talented team. I mean, Tua's brother's still there, I believe. And he was pretty good last year.
Yeah.
So, they're no slouch. It's not like they're, So that's I have them going 13-0. I don't think it's that big of a stretch. Easily, I've said it before, they could easily go 11-1. Whether it be Penn State, whether it be Ohio State, even Maryland. So, but they are. I really truly believe this may be Harbaugh's best team so far.
It seems like it.
Seems like it. Yes, exactly. Until
what the defense does.
Until they're down 14 late in the third quarter to Eastern Carolina.
Yeah, man. Then you'll be like, man, I wish we had that D line with Hutch and Ojabo. That might have been our best team.
Man, Hutch has been looking good.
Yeah.
What a freaking beast,
play, man.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, Dodie, I kind of wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got time for it, but
yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Kind of wanted to pick your brain in regards to men's health and fitness. Just what can someone do who struggles with eating healthy? I don't know who that is per se. I don't know.
It three brothers.
or trying to stay on a consistent path to losing weight. Like, I was wondering, like, Eddie's looking. I can see Eddie right now looking at me, and and it's me. Man? It's me. Okay, it's me. But just like, what are some things, like, not just me, anybody.
If there was any one person in the world who might want to maybe potentially lose a little weight at some point in time in their life, what would you think those persons might think potentially?
Well, I love answering this question, and I mean, look at our country. This is a problem widespread. So there's many people wondering this. I'm going to give you something that you can relate to. This is I like to research what athletes do, because they're humans. And my most recent one that I've been researching was Vladimir Guerrera. I'm sorry, he's not Detroit, but the junior.
I mean, stud.
The guy who did the home run derby, the winner.
Yeah.
But we know he's a little large, right? And he lost like a good 40 some pounds in the COVID break that they had. And I'll tell you how he did it. And this is great example. And it's like common sense things. One of the things he did is he stopped taking seconds at dinner and lunch, and he just
I'm gonna pass on that.
Like, just doing that helps.
Yeah.
And this is what we tell Kate Cunningham he needs to do, right? Some of these NBA players are like the new San Antonio guy needs to do. He did that. He increased his water intake, and with how big he is, he needs to be drinking 2 gallons a day. That guy, because he's big.
What about for little guys like me?
So, well, I don't know how big you are, like how tall you are.
I'm so tiny.
I mean,
I hardly need to lose any at all, honestly.
We all shrunk.
I think I mean, first of all, just, count your water to see how much you're drinking. At least 8 glasses a day. But I say push to get a gallon would be great. And sometimes just doing that helps people lose weight. Just doing that. Because it also replaces a lot of other beverages that are high in calories. But Vladimir also got rid of alcohol for a while, fried food, and sugar. And he worked out 90 minutes 4 times a week, which that's not too much.
Right.
Right.
Sounds like a lot.
When you go from 0 to 3 times a week, you're like, oh my gosh.
How many glasses of water?
All I eat is sugar, fried food, not water.
If you watch any of our episodes, you'll know that Eddie might be drinking during the weekends. I don't know.
Oh yeah, alcohol was the other.
Yeah.
Alcohol, fried food, and sugar. But he did.
That's my big 3.
It's most people's. But they all take a day to enjoy, and relax and have those things. And I do that as well. And I make my clients do that. Like, you need a day to chill. It says that in the Bible. It's like you need 1 day of rest right by do not murder. It's that important. And so I make my clients choose a time where they just chill, and doesn't mean go hog wild. Just, like stop, living by all these rules and listen to your body. But then 6 days a week, if you're trying to lose weight, eating lots of vegetables and a little carb and some protein as well. It's balanced. There's no food that's bad.
Okay.
But not taking seconds, that's just that's a thing I've seen a lot of athletes that drop weight. That's one thing that they stop doing is the seconds. That's an easy thing to do.
So if I skip the seconds, but I have my third and fourths, how is that looking?
And you know what I say? Think about it. The second and the third and fourth are never as good as the first.
That's
fair. That is a great point.
It is. They're not as good. The food is much better when you're hungry.
Mm.
I've noticed too, like if I like order food, I've noticed it a lot lately where I'll order too much. Like thinking that, like in my head mentally that, oh, I'm gonna I'm gonna eat, definitely I'm hungry enough for that. And then I get halfway through and I'm like, well, I didn't need to order that, but I did pay for it. So you know, so I've tried to do a lot better job of that, but
take it home.
Yeah,
take it home. Our share it, like my boyfriend and I, we share almost most things. Sometimes he's like, no, I'm getting my own today.
No, such a good idea. That is legitimately a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go to a place and I order an entree, I am so stuffed.
Yeah.
By the time I leave, that's like, man, if I legitimately just had half of that, I would not only be like satisfied full wise, but I'd be good to go. Like I wouldn't feel like a sweaty piece of crap the next morning.
Right. Right.
As I usually do.
She's like, I can see
she's like, I can see the sweat percolating on your forehead right now, and it's disturbing me.
Is that a grease pigment? Is that a grease pigment of sweat?
I can say, okay, now you guys know, I look like this, right? And it was 3 or 4 years ago, I lost 70 pounds just to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've put on some pounds since then, but it was so much of what you said. Like, I literally just replaced a lot of stuff with water, and I reduced calories by a lot. Now, I was egregiously, way overweight for my size and everything else. So just reducing all that stuff made a big difference over the course of a year. But what you're saying, it totally makes a lot of sense. And just having a birthday the other day, I was like, I'm going to reset. You know, you always have those marks, like, you know, a lot of people say beginning of the year, when I hit a certain age, whatever. I'm like, all right, my birthday, it's time to reset and try and get back on track. So it's like super glad you were on today and Bill asking you that, because I just need a little inspiration moving forward, because it's hard to get off the routine.
Anytime. I am very passionate about what I do, just like I am about Detroit sports, and I take insurance too. So if you guys have insurance,
yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
See, now I'm being held too accountable at that point. I don't know.
That's basically my job. Yeah, I tell my dad, I'm like, it's funny, our jobs are kind of similar. Like people come to you to confess things, and people come to me, you know, and they have to tell me what they ate over the last week. I'm like, it's like they're so ashamed.
How big is it? Like in your line, like accountability?
Huge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the biggest thing. I like my clients to see me every week, and just the fact they know they have to see me really keeps them in line, and they have the most progress when they do see me every week.
Makes sense.
I'd be scared. I had 3 carrots.
Well, my thing is, when I lost that weight, it was like I had to weigh in every morning, and it was on an app where other people could possibly see your progress. So it wasn't like necessarily like they weren't calling people out for what they weighed or whatever, but it was like they could see your progress. And so it was more like I was accountable to myself and like other people who were also keeping track of what was going on. And so that's why it resonates with me, saying that, because I need to be accountable. Maybe I will hit you up. I don't know, dude. I need accountability. No doubt about it. Otherwise, I'm running buck wild out here.
Well, I love helping people with it. It's my pleasure.
Nice.
One other thing I had in regards to that subject was, without giving too much away, right? What are 2 health and or fitness tips that doesn't get brought up a lot? Like, like seconds, like that. I mean, you should know that, right? I mean, that's one thing you should know, even though a lot of us don't listen to it. But like something that where like someone's like, oh, well, that's different. You know what I mean? Like, as far as, I don't know. I don't really know how to like really explain it past like, well, what's like a secret tip? Like,
yeah, I can tell you. Something that's going to surprise you. Carbs. Carbs are not our enemy. Carbs are our friend. Carbs never did anything wrong to us. We are the ones that do wrong. We eat way too many carbs. There's nothing wrong with having carbs. Just we need like 1 to 2 portions at a meal, depending on your size and your goals. But when I was bodybuilding right before COVID. I was eating so many carbs, and I was in the best shape of my life. And I switched trainers between my first 2 competitions. My first trainer, I was doing more of a keto, no carbs, and working out really hard. And then I switched to this other trainer who had me eating a ton of protein and quite a bit of carbs, very low fat. It scared me to death. I was eating like a bag of baby potatoes a day, and working out, but not as hard. And I went from last place in that first competition to first place. And that competition where I was eating so many carbs and working out less hard. Yeah, it's very interesting. You have to have carbs to make muscle. So a lot of the times these keto diet people are just, you might notice they're skinny fat. They don't really have as much muscle. You need carbs to transport some of the nutrients around to build muscle. So carbs are energy, and they are part of the muscle building process. So that is wrong that carbs are so bad. They're not bad.
All right.
So that I think is interesting. I mean, the best shape of my life, I was eating so many carbs. Like,
You said a baby bag of potatoes.
Yeah, like a bag of baby potatoes a day, and I was like, I said to my trainer, I go, this is crazy because the workouts are so much easier than the last trainer, and I'm eating like a ton. He goes, I know, it's funny, isn't it? And it was like, it's kind of cool. Like that whole philosophy, no pain, no gain. Not true.
I mean, I ate 5 russet potatoes yesterday. And I got to say, I'm not sure I felt the effects yet. But they were some darn good wedges, man. I'll tell you that right now.
Yum.
5 Idaho russet potatoes, and I don't know. That is super interesting. I know I'm making joke about that, but it's I don't know. It's just super true.
Yeah.
Carbs. Yep. I tell my clients, carbs never did anything wrong to you. You are the one eating too many carbs.
Yes, I've assaulted carbs plenty of times.
Right. Like, I mean, anywhere we go, there's carbs. There's carbs. There's carbs. And it's okay to have like, usually I do like a serving, like a half a cup of rice at my lunch. At dinner, I have like a tortilla with, some meat on it and salad. It's okay to have like one carb per meal. It's fine.
Right.
It's not too many.
Well, that's
Nice.
awesome. Well,
Great
thank
tip.
you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. You are very welcome.
And then the next time you're on, I'm gonna build my repertoire around your tips.
If you do that, I guarantee you it works. It's that simple. Honestly.
Next time you're on, he's gonna have Detroit Bill as his name. He's
Eat the
giving
bag
health
of baby
tips to all of us.
Like, I just eat these baby potatoes raw now. It's so good.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
So we're gonna get into our last segment, which is Would You Rather?
Oh yeah.
And I don't, Dodie, I don't know if you've watched any of our episodes at all. If not, it's completely understandable. But we always we always have between 3 to 5 would you rather questions, or this or that. And they're not sports related usually. Every once in a while we'll throw in a sports, but a lot of people, and I said this at the beginning of the episode, was a lot of people watch this part and that's it. Like my wife goes, I don't even listen to the sports part. I just go straight to the last 20 minutes. So Eddie, you had a couple.
I do. I got 2. All right. We'll start with you, Detroit Dodie. Rapid fire. Okay. Real quick. Non-controversial. Biden or Trump. Real quick. I'm just kidding. Don't answer that. Just non-controversial. Just throw it out there. How many guns are in your household at this point in time?
For real?
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
No.
She's like, "I'm for real."
She's like, I can't count. There's so many. I don't know. All right. No, this is a good one. And okay. So what is the sports team that you hate the most?
The Chicago
Like for Bill,
Bulls.
obviously it'd be the Bulls.
Yeah.
Like just unquestionably hate them the most. Okay, that's fair.
For what they did to the Pistons back in the day.
So you have a
Dethroning them.
oh yeah, freaking Jordan, dude. I just like yeah, I was thinking Bill obviously would be like OSU. For me, it's the Bears. I hate the Bears.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dean?
Well, Dean's thinking there's a side note today where a guy was telling me how delusional Bears fans were, where they were comparing Justin Fields to somebody like amazing. And I was like, are you serious? Like, you saw this?
I've seen it.
They're comparing him to like Mahomes or somebody. I'm like, Justin Fields?
They said,
like, what are you talking about?
They threw
heard
up
that too.
Yeah.
You saw that too?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
They threw up something like, how does Mahomes, how does Fields not throw for over 4,000 yards this year? I'm like, well, he's got to learn how to throw a ball. So,
yeah, you can't bail for a run after less than 3 seconds. Anyway, so you guys got the teams that you hate the most. So the Bulls. So this is would you rather? Would you rather for one season be a complete and absolute fanatic of the Bulls, attend every game, and cheering them on like your life depended on it, or get a full butt cheek tattoo of that team's logo?
Jeez.
But you can choose which cheek. Left or right, it doesn't matter. So like it's there because like you can keep it hidden, but it's there for life, or you spend that whole season cheering them on at every game.
Oh man.
All the way through.
I definitely would rather go to the games. No question.
You just be a
Period
hardcore Bulls
five.
fan that season.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, Yeah, I'm not a tattoo person. So yeah.
Whose jersey are you buying on the Bulls?
Can I do an old one?
Sure.
Derrick Rose.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
That just feels no, that doesn't feel right because he's too likable.
I like somebody who's
likable,
yeah.
He's very likable.
All right, Bill, who do you got? It's obviously Ohio State. You standing for their whole season?
I have to. I'm not putting that on my body. I already got one.
One, you already have an OSU tat on your body?
No, I have an O. It's in the back. And they match up pretty well.
Who's it for you, Dean?
Well, before you said the whole season, I was gonna say the Cavaliers because of that. Because
Really?
LeBron back in the
You still hate them for that?
That really made me salty.
You really just hate LeBron.
Yes, I respect the game though. I respect the game. You know, he's great. But I'm gonna go ahead and say the Packers. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mostly because it's only 16 games or 17 games, and compared to an NBA season, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. So, but I would not want to wear that green and yellow at all. But it would be cool. It'd be cool to go to Lambeau, though.
Yeah,
it would be cool to go to Lambeau.
I've been there.
So rub it in.
That's where my parents took me for my 40th. And
that's
it was
not
Lions and Packers, and the Lions won.
Hey.
My 40th birthday.
Hey.
That doesn't happen often at Lambeau.
Okay.
Either.
Right.
Here, I know you wore Lions stuff. So, what was the reaction to you? Like, how did people react to you?
At the beginning of the game, super nice. Super, super nice. At the end, they're kind of sore losers. Like I said, they're just quiet. Even like Lindsay was being a sore loser. Lindsay and my dad were like, "What?" And my mom's like, "Be nice to Jody. It's her birthday."
Be nice to your sister. Oh my gosh.
My mom didn't care.
Yeah.
No, they were really, really nice at the beginning. At the end, they just don't really talk to you too much.
Right. That's the thing. Like, real quick with Lions fans, like, I don't feel like Lions fans are a-holes at all. Like, I just, you can. I mean, there's always some, but the majority, like Philly fans.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard terrible stories of Philly fans. So
they're darn proud of that too.
Or going to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that too.
I heard that's a rough go too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Now that they're good again, I don't know what they were like before they were good again, but
probably more like Lions fans.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Buffalo.
All right.
I'd take the tattoo. Give me the Bears tat.
Oof.
I do not want to be out there cheering 17 weeks in a row.
You can always
in
add to it
Soldier or
afterwards,
wherever
right?
they're at, standing out for the Bears. I just can't handle it in my brain. And so I'll just take the tat because nobody sees my butt anyway. And so it's fully covered at all times.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, I guess.
At the end of the season, you can just make it into Cougars, and then you can wear your water boy jersey all around. You know what I'm talking about? No, nothing. Okay. I'll just leave. I'll just go leave now.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and
enjoy the last 3 questions?
I don't know. I just figured it'd be there, and then if it'd be so random for somebody to see the Bears tat on my butt cheek. Then I'd be like, they belong next to my butt. I don't know. I'd come up with something stupid, but I just cannot see myself being able to cheer for them 17 weeks in a row. just as a diehard fanatic.
Right.
And apparently you can, as a Michigan fan, wearing a Michigan hat. You'll cheer for Ohio State for a whole season against your team.
But it's only for
That's
one season.
disgusting.
I don't want to have to deal with.
You get that little Buckeye tat on your butt?
Next question. Next question.
You can't handle it. It's too much pressure.
I hate it.
All right. Would you rather, this is non-sports, would you rather adopt a British accent every time you're having a serious conversation with somebody, or laugh every time someone cries? Whoever wants to take that on.
British accent, for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah. So
Agreed.
again, by the way, your mother, she's not doing well.
But it's a serious conversation about that person's dying relative, and you take on a British accent?
I'm just like, man, this is really sad, ain't it? You're thirsty. A bottle of water.
What makes you more of a jerk?
Probably the laughing. I think the laughing makes you look like a real jerk.
But you went full British when they're talking to you about their mom in hospice?
Jeez. I mean, but at least it sounds charming. If you're good at it.
Does it? You went from normal to British. Is it charming?
I don't know. Laughing at somebody's face while they're crying would be pretty.
Yeah.
Nobody said in their face. You just start laughing.
Just turn around and start giggling like you got the shakes. Like that.
So yeah, all accent. I think I'm with you. Okay, my two. Would you rather stay 5 nights in a dirty roadside motel or 5 nights in a certified haunted house?
A what motel?
5 nights.
Dirty roadside motel.
Is that what the name of the place is?
Welcome to the dirty roadside. Here are your keys.
We got vacancy.
I would definitely do the dirty roadside motel over the haunted for sure. After seeing the Stephen King movie, I don't know if you've seen it. It's about a hotel room.
Oh,
Heck
I know
no.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I have had,
Is that with John Cusack?
Yeah, and I have had incidents with I can see ghosts and stuff. So I know you're probably thinking I'm crazy right now, but yeah, no, I've had incidents with ghosts. No, thank you.
We do not.
Nope. Been there.
So, yeah.
Oh, look at Eddie. He's looking.
I'm struggling with that choice, man. I don't know.
I'm
tough
going
for me.
The dirty motel as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in both. Neither were comfortable. You know, like I've been in a hotel where I literally laid on top of like the bedding. Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't feel comfortable like lifting up the comforter. I'm just gonna try and make it through the next 3 or 4 hours and then leave. Hopefully, I don't get stabbed or catch something. And I've stayed a few nights in. I guess maybe it wasn't certified haunted, but I tell you it was.
Yeah.
You know, and I hated that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the haunted.
Oof. I can't.
I'll go. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go with that because I didn't feel like. I don't know. In the motel, I felt like bugs were on me the whole time. You know, like I couldn't let that go.
And they are.
You know,
like they are on you.
They were. I know they were.
Yeah. They're all over.
And the haunted, like, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it was a different uncomfortable. I don't know. That's what I guess it's like you're choosing between the two. So it's like,
right.
I guess I'm going to go with the haunted.
Okay.
That's not easy.
That's not me. I'm staying in the motel.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can still feel it. Still feel the bugs.
All right, last one. There's a little bit of a story behind this, but would you rather spend a day walking like a dog, or you have to ride the Gravitron at the county fair 2 times an hour for 6 hours? Now, mind you, the reason why I brought up the whole walking like a dog thing is I saw an article in the news that this guy spent $14,000 for a customized dog suit so that he could go out in the city and walk around.
As like a Saint Bernard or something.
No, it was like a collie. It was like a collie. Yeah, he looked huge.
That's a big collie.
Was he barking or he's just like, I'm a dog?
He's
just walking around.
Just walking around.
I'm such a big bad dog. Like, guy, please stop.
Please stop.
No, he was like,
I don't know what you're saying because I'm a dog.
That's easy. It's easy for me. Just ride the Gravitron 2 times an hour.
What
2
is
times
the
an hour.
Gravitron?
It's like the county fair ride where it's like a spaceship and it spins super fast, but like inside the spaceship you're just like stuck to the wall.
Okay. Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about now. They used to have something like that at Bablo Island.
They call it different things
Uh-huh.
now, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 2 times an hour, 6 hours. Or walk like a dog for the day.
Sounds bad for my knees.
I think I would do the ride.
Yeah.
Is this a weekend or a weekday?
Whatever's most inconvenient.
Yeah.
Can I just sunbathe like a dog out there?
I mean,
Just lay out in the sun or what, man?
No,
Like,
you gotta
okay.
go.
It's like a regular work day. I got to do my everyday things.
He's just on the ground like
Oh,
I mean, if I have to go to work, then I guess I'm going to do the Gravitron because that's got to be a weekend thing. I can't do that I guess I could do that at work. Just leave twice an hour.
yeah, you have to leave twice an hour.
Hey, I got to go hit the Gravitron real quick.
Taking my break.
Don't mind me. I'll be puking on my way back.
Yeah.
I mean, if I got to choose in that situation, I got to go with the Gravitron because I can't walk around like a dog all day in my dog suit.
You just had a free day.
Yeah, let's say
You did everything.
Friday.
You did everything that a dog would do.
Okay, so I'm living a dog life.
Yeah. No suits in the office today, guys. Wear whatever you want.
Oh, I got a suit.
Yeah,
I got to do everything a dog would do.
Yeah, go
For
for
a day?
walk, play with your fellow.
Nah, dude, I got to go Gravitron. I couldn't last.
What that
I
lady
wouldn't
did
make
in the
it.
lawn, you'll have to do now.
Trying to do the bear crawl, dog crawl on a 1 mile walk, dude, I would just pass out. I couldn't make it.
It's a second.
I would have to Gravitron it.
In this big mascot suit of a dog costume.
Yeah, dude. I got like glued on dog hair on my face and whatever.
You should look at it. It was insane. It was insane. God, the Gravitron. I just keep thinking about your story about how you saw like you could see outside.
Yeah, there's always the hole. Every Gravitron has a hole in it. I've never been in one that there wasn't a hole where you could see outside. because somebody messed up somewhere, right?
One
Like they're
screw.
not. An engineer designed it, and after that, it was just whoever could put it together.
At
Okay.
$11 an hour.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, all right. Well, that's the last one I had.
What would you choose?
Me?
Yeah.
Trying to avoid the question.
Yeah.
It's too painful to bring up. I did a day as a dog not too long ago. It's really scarred me, but the Gravitron, man, it's intense.
I think I'd go. Man, by the third hour, I'd be puking.
No doubt.
And you still got 3 hours after that.
Got 3 to go.
I'm gonna take the dog. I think I'm gonna walk like a dog.
There you go.
I mean, how many walks do you go on?
Depends on your owner, man.
Yeah.
What if you just get chained up outside?
No, your owner. Okay, your owner is an exercise freak, and they do 2 runs a day with you. So you got 2 gallops.
Come on, boy. Come on. Oh God. I think I'd still go with the dog.
Really? As
Well,
they're
yeah.
trying to drag your body along the pavement because you've already passed out from the run.
I mean, dude, the Gravitron in the 4th and 5th hour.
Oh, it's torture.
No, thank you.
Oh.
I'm hoping my dog owner eats seconds and thirds and fourths. Let's put it that way.
Like, I think something's wrong with your bulldog.
That's funny. All right. Well, that I think will do it for tonight's episode. Dodie, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course.
We will have you back for more health tips, especially when the football season comes around with the Lions. So
Absolutely. It would be my pleasure. It was really fun.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Oh, the chair.
You just had to get one in, huh?
We can get one.
That wasn't the chair.
Oh, jeez.
No,
So,
it was-
thank you. Yeah.
You believe me, right?
And let me know when you have the link and stuff. Let me
Yeah.
know. So 'cause my boyfriend wants to watch it for sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
So-
cool.
So with that said, thank you for watching. You guys have a good week, and we will see you next week.
Sports up.